Welcome. You're tuned into Life is a Sacred Journey. Every week, we bring a new perspective to aging and caregiving. Here is your host, Micheal Pope.
It is 8 o'clock on Friday morning, and it is November 8th. I can't believe it. It is November 8th, and I want to welcome you to another Life is a Sacred Journey. We are a podcast that looks at aging, and we've been focusing on Alzheimer's and dementia for the last, I can't even remember, Felicia will have to remind me, for a very long time. Just really excited to be here with you this morning. We have guests that come and talk to us about their books, because we have a lot of connections with people that are writing books about caregiving, self-help books. We try to bring folks in that can bring ideas and thoughts to those that are caregiving or just going through this incredible life change that we call life. And so this morning is one of our ponderings, where I ponder some of the things that are floating through my brain, my mumbo jumbo brain, and through my heart. And I'm happy to say that this morning, yeah, I'm pondering a lot of things, and but for some reason, well, I know the reason, and I'll share it with you. But yeah, we're pondering a lot of things this morning. We're a couple of days away from our most recent presidential election, and that has changed the life for many people. We're feeling it. I was a part of a prayer vigil the night of the election, and colleagues and friends joined. We did it from 8 p.m. to midnight. It was amazing, the amount of anxiety and all of that people were feeling the night of the election. I chose not to participate in watching it on television or listening to it in news broadcasts, because I kind of didn't want to know. And I have to say, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So good morning, wherever you are in the neighborhood, the global neighborhood of Life is a Sacred Journey. Please say good morning in the chat if you're there. If you're watching us later on, say good morning anyway. We read the chats, and we like to know who is present and who is around. Excuse me, I'm having allergies in one eye. I don't even know how that's even possible, but one eye is been swollen and feeling a little like yucky for the last 4 or 5 days. It's been really windy here in Northern California, and so that's what's happening. I'm kind of stuffy and got an eyeball that's kind of not a happy eyeball. So let's get started. Welcome to you. First of all, you know what? I think because of where we are in the world and where I am at in my life, I think we need to just close our eyes for a minute and take a deep breath. Let's just take a deep breath in and blow out. Another deep breath in and blow out. And if you need to shake off this early morning, I did a little crack there for a minute, do that. Take another deep breath in and blow out. Whenever I feel anxious and whenever I'm overwhelmed, I try to do that, because I have a tendency to hold all of my stress in my neck, right in here, in this area here. So it's really a good idea to, just kind of figure out, take a moment, relax, and breathe. So thank you for doing that with me. So I'm going to look at the chat here for a few minutes. I just want to make sure I say good morning to whoever has joined us live this morning, because I know you're taking time out of your morning to do that. So I just want to make sure that Felicia is there, as always, my partner in this work. And so thank you, Felicia, for always showing up, and give my love to Forrest and everybody that is there in your family. Nancy Redding, thank you. Thank you for always being here with us. And we know that there hopefully will be some other folks that join us as the morning goes on. So let's get started. There's a lot of things that are happening in the world today. I just heard that there were a group of individuals in Norway, I believe it was, that attacked a group of Palestinian citizens that were there for an event and really brutally beat them. And it has made the mayor of the city where this happened to get more flights out, get people out. And what that reminded me is that where we are as not just a nation of people, but where we are as a humanity, that we are so quick to see the worst in another person. And this just happened to me in my personal life where the assumption that a person made about me and my relationship with them was clearly assumptive. They never took into consideration that there might be other things going on in my life that would have prevented me from being in contact, from being present for them. They never considered for one moment that there might be something going on with me. They took it that I didn't want to have anything to do with them, that I didn't want to have dialogue with them, that I was not speaking to them. And that made me realize how self-centered and focused on self we are, not just in the United States, but as a humanity. You know, where you never ponder or consider that there might be something going on with that individual. Instead, you go right to what you think they're doing to you. That is something that I mourn. I mourn that right now because it's a misrepresentation of who I am as a person, and it's a misrepresentation of what was really going on. So if you ever get into a time and period in your life where someone who you've had a relationship with seems to fall off the radar, they haven't called you, they haven't had a conversation with you for a long time, please don't assume that they're just because maybe there's something even going on between the two of you that you want to take that and you want to marry it to that moment. Don't assume that. There may be something going on with that person that is so deep and profound that they can't talk to anybody. You're not the only person that they're not talking to. I want to thank Nancy Redding because she's one of those dear friends that never makes that kind of assumption. If anything, thank you for my card, Nancy. She'll reach out more. Not expecting even a response, just letting me know she's there, letting me know that she's present in my life. Felicia does the same thing, and there are others that I could name, a whole list of people that have done it that way. But when you just assume that that person has cut you off from their life, you have hurt that individual and you've been disloyal to the relationship that you know you had. If you know you had a relationship and it was one of respect and whatever, then it's worth fighting for. And it's worth saying, I'm here for you because there must be something going on, instead of adding to whatever is going on for that individual. I have a friend right now, a dear person that I love, who is dealing with cancer. That news, as a cancer survivor, threw me into a space where I started thinking about, could this happen to me? Because it's a reoccurring cancer that's coming back for this individual. And this season was when 2016, 2015, 2016 is when I was having cancer scares and having to go into treatment and all of those kinds of things. So there's a lot going on in my head. There's an anniversary of the death of a child, my firstborn child, that is coming up. Every year since the death of my child, at the end of the year, I go into a state of not really a deep depression, but it's on my mind, it's on my heart. While I have two beautiful children that I love and they have been a blessing to me, I will never forget that there's a child missing. And so that's on my head. There's a lot going on here at ASAB, Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay, that are life-changing, will put me in a position that my whole life will be changed, and I will have to look at and question, and I am questioning the last 27, 28 years of my life that I've devoted to an organization. So all of those things are going on, not to mention just like I'm human, just like the rest of the world, where the things that are happening in the rest of the world are impacting my emotions and how I feel. And so that's happening to all of you as well. And I hope that you have friends and loved ones around you that will not doubt your love for them, and that they will understand that you need patience, that you need silence. Silence is one of the best healers I have found. I am trying to take some time tomorrow, which will be Saturday. I'm trying to take some time. I have to work until at least 1 o'clock. But after that, I am getting in my car, I'm making sure the gas is full to the rim. I think I'm gonna bring my dog with me, and I'm out. And wherever I land, I land. I will be at Woodland UMC preaching on Sunday morning, but on Saturday, I'm out, and just try to just make reason of what everything, and maybe not even about making reason. It's about just being at peace with everything that is going on in my life. So I want to go over with you a couple of things that I wrote down and have shared now collectively with probably about 30, 40, 50 people since the night of the election. And they're tips that I got from the World Health Organization, the Journal of Psychology, and I just kind of did a bunch of research and took 7 tips that kind of kept coming up, that I kept seeing, and then from my own practices that I have found have helped to center me. The number one is, over these months and into the beginning of 2025, expect the need for more self-care. What does that mean? That you're going to feel the need to take care of yourself. I've been thinking about train rides. I found out it's not that expensive to ride the train up to Reno and back in a day, or up to Sacramento and back in a day. Not expensive at all. You know, get out that penny jar if you don't have that extra income, but take time to expect the need for more self-care. Some of the things that I said to folks is, I take showers, right? That's the American way. We jump in the shower, bam, bam, we're out, we're clean, and we move on. Well, this is the time to get in the tub and relax, get some, I don't do bubbles and stuff, but whatever you need to do. One of the things that I realized yesterday that I need in my life is a rubber ducky. My granddaughter has all these wonderful little toys that she plays with in the tub. Well, on my way home today, I am stopping at, I don't know where to get one, but I'll find one. Maybe I'll go to IKEA because I know they'll have it. And get a rubber ducky and play in the tub, sit in the tub. This is not about getting clean, literally, but it's about getting clean of the thing that's on your heart and mind. You may end up even crying. And that's a cleansing. So expect the need for more self-care and find ways, whatever works for you. For me, it's silence. It's going to the forest. The forest is one of my favorite places. Going to the ocean, another favorite place. Actually, I might do that tomorrow, get on the ferry and go over to Sausalito. Something inexpensive stuff that you're not having to spend a whole lot of money, because none of us has any money right now, and I think we need to hunker down. I know I'm getting ready to hunker down on my finances and stop spending any money that's not necessary, and make sure I get any debt down low, so that I can hunker in for the next things that are happening in my life. But expect the need for more self-care. My biggest one, take time to be silent. That means being quiet, getting rid of all that noise, the noise of life, the noise of others, the noise in your head that tells you you're not worthy, imposter syndrome that tells you that you have failed, that's telling you you're not young enough, beautiful enough, tall enough, whatever it is. Take time to silence those voices. Take time to be silent in the world. I think it was about 7 years ago, I went to a silent retreat where the whole weekend long we were unable to talk, to speak to anyone. We had journals that we could write in. We were given beautiful cabins to stay in. We each little tiny cabins. And I'm telling you, the first 24, 36 hours was the worst time of my life. I wanted to say something. So I started talking to myself, which was really incredible. But when it was the time when I passed over that moment where I didn't feel the need to hear another's voice, and it was in the forest, it was in the woods, and I started communing with nature and listening to the sounds of nature, it became the most grounding experience of my life. It was longer than that because I did it after I was told I was cancer free. It was one of the little odyssey that I went on. So do that. Don't be afraid of the silence. The silence is healing, and it's never silent, because the one thing I started hearing more than anything else was my breath sounds and my heartbeat. And then, of course, the woods is full of sounds. After a while, it was too loud. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my gosh, the crickets, the whatever, those whatever that insect is that makes the sound that goes zzz, zzz, zzz. I don't know what that thing is, but take time to be silent. The other, for those of you that this is appropriate for, is to pray, or for those that meditate. But prayer, I know for me, is a very important aspect of my life. It is the fuel of my life. But taking time to pray with abandonment, that's what I did. Actually, I've been doing for a minute, just really getting up early for me at 3 a.m. and just praying. And it's not because I set the alarm, it's because I'm waking up, going to bed earlier too, praying and connecting with that higher power, with God. It's God for me. And then I believe in Jesus and the Holy Spirit. I believe in a triune God, but that may not be your beliefs. But take time just to meditate with that thing that you believe in. And hopefully it's something that's not negative, dark, and ugly, and it's something of the light, something that fuels your inner spirit and allows you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Practice mindfulness. We've had so many incredible authors and speakers about mindfulness, where, mindfulness is practicing gratitude, turning something that seems like it's bad into, okay, this is happening, but let me find the flip side. Let me find the joy. Let me find that place of peace that moves me into the next direction. Practicing mindfulness means waking up and just being grateful for the fact that you were able to wake up. For me, every day I am grateful that I'm alive. No matter what I'm dealing with, I'm just grateful that I'm alive and that I have the opportunity to make it a better day and to be better than I was the day before. And I have to share with you, I did a sermon last week at Concord United Methodist Church, and in my studying to put the sermon together, Friar Barron talked about who we are as humanity, and if we thought of ourselves as a prism, the prism that it's a crystal or glass thing. If you thought of yourself as a prism, that when the light of life, the light of the universe shined upon you, that you would then be like a prism sending out all these rays of incredible color and light. And I thought, yes, if we thought of ourselves that way, that we would banish any thought of oppression, any thought of evilness, and just bring in light and then let it go through us and out in a prism effect. Wow, that would be amazing. Take screen breaks. That means get away from your computer, laptop, cell phone. Right now, this is the mode that we're using. You're looking at this and we're using a phone, laptop, or desktop for this to happen. But as much as I do want you to subscribe and hit the share button, I also want you to take time away from the screen and look away from it for a minute. Don't let it be the first thing that you look at. As soon as you wake up in the morning, you grab your phone and you're looking to see who sent you a message, emailed you, or turning on whatever to see what happened, what terrible thing happened overnight. How many times do you pick up your phone and it's not telling you, oh, a baby was born or whatever? It's more percentage wise to the opposite, to the dark side. So I'm not saying don't use your phone. I'm not saying don't use your laptop or your desktop or whatever screen that you use for your social media. But what I'm saying is take a break. Don't let it become the obsession of your life and draw you down these rabbit holes, because you're not going to end up in Wonderland. You're going to end up somewhere else, and you deserve better. You need to take a break. Give yourself compassion. This is a big one for me. Even when I read it and started reading about it, I thought to myself, this is something you don't do, Micheal Pope. That you give compassion and forgiveness and love to so many people. You honor their lives, even the people that misunderstand you. You are kind to them, you're good to them, but you don't give it to yourself. You beat yourself up about everything. Does that resonate with you? Are you out there, fellow person? But because of what's going on in my life right now, I've decided that I have to give myself more compassion. I have to get rid of the martyrdom syndrome that has followed my life for ever since, like I've done something wrong and that I need to live my life in a subservient, asking for forgiveness mode. I'm always the first to say I'm sorry. I'm always the first to say I forgive you. And it doesn't mean I won't continue to do that, but I'm going to turn those same messages inward to myself and provide myself that same compassion to say, Micheal, you know what? Maybe, yeah, you did that wrong 20 years ago, but girlfriend, you ain't done that wrong in the last 20 years. Why are you still treating yourself as if you have done something that is not good? So compassion, give yourself compassion. And that's something, and that goes back to loving yourself. It's one thing to be able to get up in the morning and cut my hair and get it back to how I want it to look, or putting on my beautiful garments that I invest in, because I am truly the person. I look at fashion as a work of art. Having started in the field, it's still a part of my DNA. When I was back in New York last week, that was like, yeah, baby. You know what I mean? It was just like, wow. I just felt so at home walking on 8th Street and West 43rd and 42nd. Nancy, you and I have to go to New York together one time. It was funny. At first, it was like dropping into a foreign land, because I haven't been there. I haven't been there for over 20 years. And so, I've flown through, but been there for a period of time. So I was lost. I took the bus to Port Authority, and I was like, okay, what direction? I was like, I need a compass, but thank God for the cell phone. You can put the cell phone on where you're walking and it leads you, but it got messed up every once in a while because of the height of the buildings, and the signal got lost. And that's when I walked on instinct, and it was like, yeah, I got this. So give yourself compassion. Take action to feel better. Take action to feel better. We're all Oh man, I cannot tell you how many of myself included are feeling a great deal of grief because of the results of the election. Great grief. I'm feeling grief because of a major loss that's about to happen in my life, feeling tremendous grief. Feeling grief because I'm remembering a child that I love so much, and I'm feeling a little guilt because maybe I wasn't the best parent at that time, being a parent that was in helter-skelter land at that time. I'm feeling grief and loss for things that I haven't said or done. All that is happening because we're coming to the end of the year. And so everybody is experiencing some level of that, but we have to take action to feel better. You know, yesterday I almost didn't go to my son's house, or I was going to go and stay until my granddaughter was taking her nap, um, because she takes a nap now later in the day, and then the time that I leave is when she gets up. So I was going to leave at that time. I did do some work while she was napping, but playing with her and being with her, eating, I did, like I said, I did some work and stuff, but being there to have supper with her, and just to be with her, made me realize there's more important things in life, that no matter what happens, I had to break away from this element of stuff that was going on for me. So take action to feel better. In this world, my phone is ringing and I don't know why, but it's okay. In this world, there's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be changes every single day. We're changing every single day. I got more gray hairs that are coming in. I think there's some right there, and there's a lot over there. And it happens. But we're also survivors. We have something in our DNA that even the unsheltered person that is living on the street, they are survivors because they're still here and they're struggling every day to survive and to make it in this world. And so I think that's amazing. That's an amazing part of who we are as human beings. And so I can't tell you more than what I know and what has happened to me in my life. I'm still living this quest, this journey. But I know you can overcome anything. As I say, and nobody believes, my fear of heights is crippling, but I can get on a plane in a minute to go and have an adventure. The takeoff and the landings are a little freaky to me, and if there's turbulence, I'm a little. But you know what? Over the years, I've gotten better at it because I center myself. I pray. I do pray. I practice breathing while it's happening. I try to sit in the aisle because I don't know, I don't like being sequestered in next to the window or in the middle seat. But this last flight on United had me at the window seat both times. I managed. I had to go to the bathroom. I just said, "Excuse me, I hate being that person, but you know what? I got to go to the bathroom." I do it. And then the last thing that I will share with you this morning that I did that was really, wow, life-changing for me. All the years that I lived in New York City, yes, I went to the Empire State Building. Only went up to that first level. I never went to the 90th whatever or the 102nd. Never. And I only did it maybe twice, okay, because somebody came to visit and they wanted to go to the Empire State Building. Micheal Pope didn't want to go. I didn't feel the need to go. It's the same thing though. When you live in a city, it's like, okay, I live in St. Louis. There's the arch. Yay, hallelujah. But you don't do it, right? Okay. So two beautiful women that I met at the Brookdale Foundation. And by the way, shout out to the Brookdale Foundation and the wonderful retreat that we had. David Troxel was there, and I was a speaker. I taught a class, and I was the closing plenary speaker, and I was frightened to death. It was my first sort of like out of my element kind of thing. And good news, the surveys are coming back really good. And so I'm hoping in my next iteration of life that I can do more of that consultant kind of work, and just use my years of experience in adult day healthcare to help others who are doing it, because I think that's the next journey. So thank you, Brookdale Foundation, for having me there and making it so easy, and allowing me to reconnect with my soul, and because that was amazing. So thank you. But I met a whole bunch of people, but I met these two women, and we I don't know, we were the three M's, the M&Ms. We called ourselves the M&Ms, but we got on that bus, which was right outside the hotel. Shout out to the hotel. And we got on that bus and went to Port Authority. We used our phones and made it because they wanted to. And I said, I'll go. I'm going to the Empire State Building. And we got there, and they wanted to go to the tippity top. So, Micheal Pope didn't want to be a weenie. So I bought my ticket, and we got to the first level. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yay, yay. Then you get to the level where you can go outside. It's a little bit more weird, but they have, the things up where, you can't jump if you wanted to jump or anything like that. But it's windy. And so you can feel this sense of like, ooh, this is kind of scary. And then I didn't realize we had purchased the tickets to go to the 102nd floor. And you come back down, and they had a music playing up there. It was the pictures, I put some of them on Facebook, and I will put more. But looking down at New York City in the evening and is so amazing. But so we come up down, and the guy says, you want to go to 102nd? And they're, yeah. And I was like, oh man, in my head. And so then the lady looked at our tickets, and she scanned them. She goes, yep, you can. And the elevator to go to the 102nd, you see the leveler things that are on the outside of the elevator, that when the elevator's going up, that the leveler things are going down. When you're on the other elevators before that floor, you're in an elevator. The thing that's a little weird about that, if you look up, it has a sensation of dropping, like they show pictures and they're talking to you. So you feel, but more people can be on the elevator as well. This is a smaller elevator, and because it's small up there. So then you go up, and and it doesn't take very long, but it feels like an eternity. And then you open, and it's tight up there. It's very tight. Now there's a set of stairs. I saw them. I made sure I peeped them stairs out. But when I got up there, and the other thing, it's all glass. So there's a sense of, for me, because of my fear, to stand next to the glass for my photo to be taken. I didn't want to step back. It's like, okay, what if this glass falls out? This is Micheal Pope, my inner me, talking to myself. The ladies took the picture because I said, I have to send this to my kids. They're never going to believe I did this. But I'm going to tell you, the sense of conquering that fear in that moment was one of the best experiences of my life that I will never forget, and I am changed. So when we say take action to feel better, that's what that moment was. I didn't even read any of this prior, but taking action to overcome a fear, to enjoy life, to be adventurous, to know that the world is there for you to enjoy. It takes sometimes doing something that frightens you in a way that is unexplainable. I've always had a fear of heights. It's no big deal. Always, my whole life. I never remember a time I didn't. Maybe I did, I don't know. But so know that. So take action to feel better. And as we come to the end of this pondering, I want to say to all of you out there that have supported Life is a Sacred Journey, we are going to continue doing what we're doing until the end of the year. And then Felicia and I are going to regroup and think of something else. It will continue to be Life is a Sacred Journey. That title will never change. But we're going to change the format a little bit, and we're going to do more ponderings. We're going to take it to the street. We're going to do some new and exciting things. I thought about using my phone to do my trip in New York, but she and I have to get together and mind meld. But we hope that you will stay with us. It will no longer be being broadcast here from Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay, but we'll think of something. We're going to think of something, and we're not going to forsake the vision and mission that has been placed upon our hearts to reach out to you. So I'm excited, I'm scared, but I'm going to take action to feel better. So have a great weekend. Get out in the world. I know it's a little chilly, but this morning during my run, I'm running again. Not like I used to, but I'm running again, trying to take action to feel better. And I saw some beautiful leaves, not a whole bunch of them, because it's pretty green still in my neighborhood, but I did see some leaves that were changing and reminded me that this is fall. And give yourself a break and know that you're doing the best you can, and the world is doing what the world's going to do, and only thing that we can do is try to be warriors of peace and love. And so go out into the world, be a warrior for peace and love, share it with somebody else. Know that somebody else is feeling the same anxiety that you are feeling, and even if they disagree with you, as Reverend Dr. Scott Hughes says, have a courageous conversation and don't get into a debate about who's right or who's wrong. Because you know what? We all might be wrong. We all might be wrong. But at this point, that's not what the conversation is about. It's about an exchange of information and an exchange of ideas. So if you are somebody out there that is feeling a great deal of sadness right now, please reach out to 988. That is a great, it used to be called the Suicide Hotline, but I think they've changed the title of it a little bit. But it is a group of people, psychologists and counselors and case managers, that can support you through this ugly, ugly time in our world. And if you are really thinking about taking your life, they can support you through that. Life is precious. As difficult as it is hard as it gets, it will get better. It will get better. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your life. Hug a cat, hug a dog, feel better, Wally. Hug a tree, and know that with every morning, as Annie says, the sun will come out tomorrow. And so let's just be warriors of peace and love. That's my new thing. Warriors of peace and love. Join my army. If you want to join, hit the share button. Hit that share button and or subscribe, because we are warriors of peace and love, because that's really what we were created to do. Have a good weekend. Peace.